Okay, so for the first card, Aquarius Suns, Aquarius Moons, and Aquarius Risings, we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. So this is about carrying extremely heavy burdens, extremely burdensome type of responsibilities. Perhaps some of you may have even taken on some responsibility or burdens from potentially a family member or someone that you're very close with, that or someone tried to get you to take on their responsibilities. But see, with this type of energy, you've got such a heavy load that, this is too big of a load for one person to carry. And the upside here is, since it's in the reverse position, you guys have literally thrown this burden down. Like, look, I cannot keep carrying all of this weight. I can't keep doing it, And that's the absolute truth, because this is too much for any one person to carry, It's too much responsibility, So sometimes you just got to throw those wands down, and you got to pick and choose which burdens you choose to focus on, So sometimes we have a tendency to take on others' burdens, or, carry other people, through life. And this is a card of saying, hey, we can't continue to do this anymore, because it can really begin to make one ill. You can only push yourself so far, because you're going to end up becoming exhausted, mentally, physically, emotionally, or all three. It's just too much for one to carry. So this is like feeling like 1,000 pounds has literally came off of your shoulders. Like, Jesus, if I'd have known, if I just threw all these burdens down and these responsibilities down a long time ago, life could have been easier. But, we live and we learn. So now, to clarify, we have the Death card. So that definitely shows there was an end, Something came to an end in your life. Now this is not saying that someone has died, okay? A lot of people want to jump to, oh my God, am I going to die? No. I mean, we're all going to die someday, but no, that's not this card. 95% of the time, this is about change and transformation and rebirth. So some sort of situation has come to a close. Perhaps the situation was you deciding to drop those burdens. Maybe you were carrying perhaps a family member or a friend's extra burdens, and you realized, I can't do it anymore. So you dropped it. So essentially, you caused this change, and this change was very necessary. It had to happen. So whatever this situation is for you, it was necessary. It was time to let it go, because when I see the Death card, then I automatically know that the situation that is attached to it has essentially blocked you, and it had prevented you from moving forward. And so now that the Death card is here, it's showing that you've been released. And so you are free to move forward with a fresh new start, a clean slate, so to speak. And without all this heavy burdens and all these super heavy responsibilities. And more times than not, you're taking on more responsibilities than what are actually yours. So, yes, a death to that. And that would be very necessary, because, we all have enough irons in the fire, so to speak. You can't take on other people's. I mean, you can, but you can only do it for so long. It'll break you down. So, that was very necessary. Okay, so this would be your circumstances. So here we have the Two of Coins in the reverse position. So this would indicate that you are definitely taking on too much. especially in regards to finances. Now, this is still indicating that there's just too many irons in the fire, so we definitely need to continue learning from this particular situation because there are too many irons in the fire. Perhaps maybe some of you are working 2 or 3 jobs, and maybe that, is necessary for you to, you know, make ends meet financially, so to speak. But with this particular energy, unfortunately, you can't continue to juggle all of these different things because they're not getting the best of your attention. You are not able to do a good job at all of these things because there's too many and they're simply overwhelming. Whether you realize this on a conscious level or not, they're overwhelming you and you are not able to do your very best when you are scattering yourself into so many different areas. And so the overall message here is you need to really narrow down, which should I focus on? So if this is about jobs, for instance, maybe you need to pick the job that, has benefits, that pays more money, maybe it's closer to home, whatever the situation may be. You need to pick the one that is more solid, the one that is more stable, that's more structured, and, will provide you with more in the long run, and this will allow you to be able to do a better job at your job, so to speak, and you won't be so scattered, so you can apply yourself truly to it. Now, this can also indicate that perhaps maybe you're juggling your financial resources. So some of you could be having a hard time making ends meet, and you just got a lot of irons in the fire. Perhaps you got a lot of bills that are due. But again, this is a sign that, you're trying to juggle too much. Maybe you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. But we really need to try to narrow it down because as things sit in this very moment, it's just too much. You need to focus more on, 1 or 2 things as opposed to 10, So you really got to pick wisely. And also some disappointing news financially could potentially occur here. Now, we clarify and we get the world in the reverse position. So the world in the reverse position indicates that we have failed to learn a lesson somewhere along the line. Perhaps we've continued to do something that we know we shouldn't do. Perhaps this could just be indicating that there just seems to be unending delays and frustrations and setbacks when it comes to achieving your financial stability. But a lot of times this is indicating that you need to go back because you have missed something. There's more work to be done, okay? And this really comes down to, this could be many different things actually, Are you very impatient? If you are very impatient and you want things done like yesterday, like last month, this might be one of the things that you need to work on. Is learning to be patient. It's hard. It's easier said than done, but it's very achievable. You can do it, We need to learn to be patient because if we're trying to speed through everything, we miss so many different opportunities and you just don't realize it because you're just speeding right through trying to get everything done. But yet we're missing valuable opportunities. And if we slowed down, we would realize that. But yes, this is definitely indicating that more work needs to be done in order to, attain our self-actualization. Okay, so this would be the focus position. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this could indicate that perhaps maybe you guys might be having some good luck. Maybe some of you have received some extra money. Maybe some of you have, recently gotten a pay raise, a promotion. Maybe some of you might have, won a sweepstakes, on a lotto ticket. Or maybe for some of you, things just seem to be going a little bit easier. Or for some of you, you might feel like, hey, I have that feeling. I know that things are going to get better. But overall, this card is definitely showing that things are working in your favor, whether you can see it and realize it or not. Things are going in your favor, but there is also a very sense of fatedness around this card. So whatever this card brings is very much fated, okay? And the same can be said with all the majors, all the trump cards, but this one especially. Now, we clarify and we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is about listening to that voice in our head. It's about listening to our intuition. It's about listening to our gut feeling. So if you feel that something's coming, like, there's a big change coming, you're absolutely correct. There is a change coming. If you feel that there's a situation in your life that's not quite right, or a certain person, you're absolutely right. You're not crazy, okay? So do not ignore your intuition. Listen to that intuition because it will be extremely valuable right now. And your intuition could even lead you to some opportunities, okay? But the High Priestess, she's always about saying, you need to look deeper. You need to look because there's more than meets the eye to a situation. And that can be said about a lot of things and just about everyone, because a lot of people tend to put up that facade when they're in the outer world, But yet when you truly know them, you know that they're not how they present themselves to everyone else that, don't really know them. Facades. So you guys are definitely having a feeling about something or someone. And I'm going to say listen to your intuition. Absolutely. Listen to it. Okay, so this would be your recent past or the energy that is currently passing. We have the King of Cups in the reverse position. So with this particular card in the reverse position, this can indicate that, something could have happened that definitely upsets you on an emotional level. It's almost kind of like being emotionally provoked. And it's a situation that makes you emotional, but it also can make you want to withdraw. It can make you pretty moody. And ultimately, with the King of Cups in reverse, there's an emotional situation that has taken place, okay? And ultimately, the universe is saying, hey, you need to face this emotional issue with maturity and with wisdom. But unfortunately, a lot of times, that's just not what you want to do. You want to retreat, withdraw. You want to be left alone, and you just kind of moody, like leave me alone. Let me deal with this by myself. Let me get my head together on my own, but leave me alone. It can make you really moody, really crappy, okay? But it's definitely an emotionally provoking situation. So someone definitely poked at your emotions, or a situation may have made you pretty emotional. And ultimately, we need to face it. We need to rise up and face it with maturity and wisdom, even if you don't want to. Now, granted, this is the past, so not much we can do about it if you didn't, but you will know for the next time, should you see this card in a reading, exactly what you need to do. You need to face this situation, even though your first instinct may be to run, to withdraw, leave me alone. If we can face it, the sooner we'll get through this energy. Now, to clarify, we have the Eight of Coins in the reverse position. So this is a card that I coin as practice makes perfect, because this is one who has a great skill or a great set of skills, and this skill or skill set can actually make them money. So you could earn money through this set of skills or skill. It can also bring recognition. So you continue to work, because the more that you keep working and keep at it, the sooner you'll get to perfecting it altogether. Now, this makes me think that this could have been a situation that occurred at work for most of you. So maybe there was some sort of a situation at work and it emotionally provoked you, or it roused your emotions, it upset you emotionally. Maybe someone was picking on you. Maybe someone says you're not doing a good enough job. Maybe someone's criticizing you. Manipulation possible. But overall, I feel like this is something that stemmed from work that leads to the emotions. So it's kind of like a blending of work and, personal life. And again, that was the recent past, or the energy that is currently passing. Now, this is the present, the here and the now energy. We have the Three of Cups in the reversed position. So, with this particular card, this card can indicate that you might be overdoing a good thing. Maybe you had some good news, and perhaps you celebrated, and then continued to celebrate way past, everyone leaving the party, so to speak, and you're still celebrating. So this could be indicating that you're overdoing a good thing. This could be indicating that you could potentially be overindulging. So this could be overindulging in alcohol. This could be overindulging in some sort of recreational type of drug. But addictions can come in many different forms in this day and age. So, maybe you're addicted to the internet. Maybe you're addicted to shopping. Maybe you're addicted to sex. Maybe you're addicted to talking shit. I don't know. Excuse my French, but it is what it is. And addictions, they come in so many different forms now. Now, another portion of this card, typically this card is about friendships. So some of you could have experienced an issue within a friendship. Quite possible. Now, sometimes gossip can come up with this card. And if gossip comes up, you definitely want to address it, and be honest. And if people accept your truth, great. If they don't, well, let them go, But this card can also indicate that perhaps maybe you were overindulging, and maybe you might have ran your mouth. Maybe you said some pretty hurtful things. And so a lot of times when this card comes up in the reverse position, it's indicating that an apology needs to be made. So you guys could be on the receiving end of this energy, or you could be on the giving end. So perhaps you may be overindulging. Maybe you were talking trash and you hurt someone, maybe you owe someone an apology. Or maybe someone did it to you. Okay? These are very strong possibilities, but they can go either way.